Well, federal budgets run into the hundreds of pages, and deciphering them takes expertise. That's why it's great to have Kevin Page with us. He is an economist and was Canada's first parliamentary budget officer. He's also president and CEO of the University of Ottawa's Institute of Fiscal Studies and Democracy. Kevin, thanks for being with us. You know, the government wants to frame this as investing in the country and building a stronger Canada. What is your overall assessment?
Well, I think that my overall assessment is that it is a very different budget in that it is, there is this focus on investment. Obviously with that additional investment comes much higher deficits and a slightly higher debt to GDP ratio. And I think it comes at a time as where, it's the way the finance minister is communicating at a time of crisis, actually for the globe because of the change in the global trading arrangements, but also a very weak Canadian economy. So we kind of need this money to kind of prop up the Canadian economy over the next couple of years.
Yeah, now,
you can't do bold things, I guess, without taking some risks. So where do you see the biggest gamble in this budget plan? Where is it most vulnerable to potential failure?
Overall productivity.
Well, I think what we get with the budget plan is a strategy. I think where the challenges will be on the implementation. I think this much of investment, another $10 billion a year on an accrual basis, maybe $20 billion a year in capital investment on a cash basis. Are we going to implement successfully? And I think to me, the implementation risk is the largest risk.
Also won't go after any of those popular.
The finance minister says Canadians will go to bed tonight saying we're going to be okay as a country. That's, of course, he's a politician. Of course, he'd say that. What do you think today's budget tells us about the state of Canada's economy?
Service keeping in mind it has grown dramatically.
Well, I think there's some honesty in the document that creates the need to have these higher deficits in this strategy. Again, an economy that's growing less than 1% a year right now, projected to grow roughly 1% a year even this year and next year. Unemployment rate above 7%. So that's a weak economy. We've had weak investment. So what I think the strategy is, if we inject this amount of investment into the economy, can it stimulate private sector investment as well? And I think so for the Canadians. Again, at this moment of crisis, again, it's a bold type of move on investment.
All right, Kevin Page, thank you so much for your expertise.